we also thought we'll fall in line with all of them. In fact, she had prepared it quite in advance, and it was a very exhaustive compilation. And since we are presenting it to this forum and we need to complete it in an hour's time, I had to do a little bit of chip chop. And so today I'll be giving rest to my vocal cords, and Soumya would be reading it out. And as and when I feel like jumping in, interjecting, like how she does when I'm reading, so when I'm speaking. So I might do that. I'll use that discretion, and I'll do that as and when I feel like doing it. So over to Soumya. Soumya, go ahead.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
This is about Dr. Goher Rusi Irani, born on 3rd August 1960 and passed over to Baba on 30th June 2004. Goher was born on 3rd August 1916 in Quetta to Khurshid Banu Irani and Rusi Jahangir Irani. Goher in Persian means jewel or gemstone. She never liked her name. Her intimate family name was a softer alternative and pronounced Gaver, which the Mandali always used to address her by. Goher knew of Baba when she was about 7 years old. Baba was then known as Sadguru, and he had visited her parents' home in Quetta, now part of Pakistan. Baba had then visited them around 1923 with his main Mandali. Rusi was an amusing person who told funny stories and could do magic tricks. Baba enjoyed Rusi's company. Baba's spiritual sister Pila Mai and Rusi are siblings.
Now, Baba was called Sadguru at that time. We all know from, from the very beginning, his name actually, there was a metamorphosis of his name where he was Merwan. Of course, his family name was, Baba was known as what? Merog. As Merog and Merwan and Merwan Ji and Merwan Seth and Mer Baba. And in the same way, in the earlier days, he was referred to as just Shri. Shri ne aisa kaha, Shri ne bataya. And then, of course, some people would refer to him as Sadguru, so and so. And then later on, as Avatar Meher Baba.
Goher recalls during those days, Baba serving food to all of them. They would go to him with their plates. He would serve food and tell them, you must eat every bit that is on the plate.
That means Baba was very particular not to waste any food. And that went on till the end. Even when Baba served very lavishly to people and they would say, I can't eat, Baba would say, don't I know how much to give you? So you must eat whatever is served because it's my prasad.
Baba was like a teacher to the children. With children, he behaved like a child and played games with them like a loving father. One was a game of 5 fingers. Baba would hold his fingers together in a certain way and ask them to pick the middle finger, which they were never able to do.
When we were small, we would do the finger like this, you would twist the fingers like this, and then you cover it up, and the children have to pick up the middle finger, the longest finger. So Baba would play that game with the children.
Goher's mother, Khurshid's maternal home, was in Ahmednagar, where Goher used to visit during her school holidays. Most of the family members in that household did not then accept Baba as the Sadguru, perfect master. Young Goher would spend her holidays in Ahmednagar and stay in a joint family household. Living in the same house were Gulmai and her family, who were staunch lovers of Baba.
This is what we today call as the Khushru quarters or the trust office. So this is where Gulmai and Khan Bahadur Kekashru used to live, and this is the same place. Yeah, that was a joint family.
In 1931, Baba visited Quetta with Chanji, Rao Sahab and a few of his men Mandali. They stayed with Rusi's family for nearly a month.
Rusi was also called Rusi Pop. His name was Rusi Pop.
One day, when Goher was going out in her girl guide costume, Baba called out to her and asked her, "What are you going to study further?" She did not know. Baba then said, "You become a doctor." Since then, Goher took it to mind. Pretending to be a doctor was a favorite pastime.
See how when we take it to mind anything that Baba says, we actually enact that. And when we keep on enacting anything, you become that. So when Baba said you become a doctor, she started, the children would play games of doctor, doctor and all that. So she behaved like a doctor. That was her favorite pastime. And finally she did become the doctor.
During this visit, Baba told Rusi to sell off his successful business of 20 years and everything else and leave Quetta for good, assuring that he would get a very good profit. After this conversation, Baba left and Rusi was thinking about Baba's warning. Rusi was a simple person and would have done Baba's bidding. But his wife Khorshid, who was more on the practical and materialistic side, considered, if we sell everything and go away, how are we going to bring up our 7 children? There won't be enough money, and how are you going to start business all over again? Their other friends in Quetta did not believe in Baba then and persuaded Rusi not to sell.
See, Baba's style has always been that he would just give a very mild indication of what his wish is, and it's left to us to follow or not to follow. If we are wise and courageous, we follow and benefit. If we are, for whatever reason, here the reason was his wife, and most of the time, in most of the families, the wife is the head of the family, and she decides what is to be done and how. So Rusi Pop being a very simple man, simpleton, and all men generally are. So, so he was a simpleton and he obeyed his wife. And then finally you see that he actually made a huge loss instead of making a huge profit.
2 years went by. Then there were some more earth tremors at times, and business was not running so well. One night, Khorshid had a dream in which she saw a grey bearded person in white robe who said to her, "I'm waiting for you to leave Quetta. Why haven't you gone? I want you to go away, and when you have left, I want to destroy Quetta." On waking next morning, she felt this was a warning message from Baba. She told Rusi that they must immediately sell the business and go away, whatever happened. The 7 children were sent to Ahmednagar for schooling. Rusi and Khorshid stayed back trying to sell the businesses, but there were no prospective buyers then. Prices went down because of the continuing earthquakes, and Rusi sold his businesses at tremendous loss and they proceeded to Ahmednagar. Shortly thereafter, Quetta witnessed a terrible earthquake with 45 to 50,000 lives lost in one night. The family realized Baba saving them from this catastrophe.
Just imagine one single Baba, genuine Baba person, and the whole country's earthquake was stopped because that person had not left Quetta. Soon after the whole family leaving Quetta, that earthquake took place and there was a tremendous loss of lives and property.
On Baba's instructions, Kaikashru, Gulmai's husband, and the other family members helped Rusi settle in business. Rusi opened a canteen at Saros's cinema. He lacked enough inspiration to work and showed no zest to start all over again, and as a result, he did not earn well. After school, the children were sent to Bombay. While in Bombay, Goher stayed with Saros's sister and later with her elder married sister there for some length of time in a bid to minimize her education expenses.
Even Baba's family had problem with money, financial constraints, and many of the other Baba lovers, you'll find that they would have a lot of constraint. To a point, I remember much later that you are brought up with such discipline that later on, when Gaur joined Baba's Mandli, and when she was supposed to write letters or write anything, she would use the one-sided paper. That means her sister Katie, who used to work for the Japanese consulate, will send all the used papers which were supposed to be shredded, and they would be brought to Gaur, and she would use the back side of the paper for writing letters. So, in other words, they were so very uh, thrifty about every resources in the universe.
After 1 year of studying, Goher was told by her mother that her studies were proving expensive and that they could not afford to pay the fees. Besides, her mother knew in a couple of years Goher would be married off, and hence the reason to make known their financial constraint. Baba got to know of this turn of events. He told Goher's mother not to worry, that he would pay her fees and that she be allowed to continue her studies.
Baba has paid educational money to several children of Baba families without anyone knowing it. It's only now that people, open up and say that my education was was sponsored by Baba, and like that, so many different places we get to know that Baba used to give these kinds of secret financial and other help to assistance to several families.
She must become a doctor. She must do her MBBS. It is important for my future work. I need her. By then, Goher had graduated in the arts college and she was to join the medical college. With nowhere to live in view of the heavy hostel expenses, Goher was going to give up the medical career. Baba called her to Mehrabad, where she met Chanji for the first time. Baba arranged with Chanji to have Goher stay with Arnavaz's parents, Bachamai and Nauroji Dada Chanji at their home.
Baba used to visit the Dada Chanji's home at one time at Baikala in Rustambagh. In our chronicle, Bombay Chronicle, we have the photographs of the places where Baba had stayed. Then later on at Baman Lodge in King Circle, at Dadar Circle, okay, at Dadar Circle. And then there were several places which Baba would visit. And Nauroji was the one who had, I suppose, designed Baba's Samadhi ka dome, the dome of Samadhi, So that was Nauroji Dada Chanji.
Baba sent Goher alone to their home. He gave her the address and told her to tell them, I have come. She did not know any of the family. Arnavaz opened the door and warmly welcomed Goher in. The family gave her a sense of belonging by showering her with much love. The Dada Chanji family would have very simple vegetarian meals. Bachamai would see to it that Goher had more than her own children had. Bachamai's love would bring tears to Goher because she knew that her mother would never have done that for another child. Baba would visit the Dada Chanji house very often, as it was his own house, because there was so much love there.
There was once that we visited a place where Baba used to come and he would bring his own bedroll and he would roll it in one corner of the room and he would always sleep there. We wanted to include that particular place in our chronicle, but the person who was staying there requested us not to put it there because otherwise she would be inundated with many people coming to Mumbai and visiting that home. And she was she's no more now. She was staying all alone. So we respected her wishes and we did not put that particular home in our chronicle.
After staying with Dada Chanjis for a couple of years, Goher went to stay in a girls' hostel with Baba giving her very strict orders. No men must visit her. She must not touch men or go about with them. She was to write to him regularly. Baba replied to every letter. During holidays, she could go and stay with Baba. Naturally, she was more drawn to be with Baba than to her own parents. 4 years passed. Goher would be uneasy that Baba was burdened with her expensive medical education expenses. On different occasions, Goher and her mother Khorshid would come to see Baba at Lower Meherabad, though they did not go up the hill to visit the women mandali. A young man Goher was fond of had asked her to marry him. Goher wanted to get married, but she was interested in a career too. At Meherabad, they consulted Baba about this. Baba said marriage was not for her.
The same thing happened with Mehra. When proposal came for Mehra and people were very eager, Baba turned to Mehra and said, "What have you got to say?" And Mehra said, "Baba, I don't want to get married." So with a, sort of, finality, final this thing. Now no more subject of marriage for Mehra. It's all over. She doesn't want to get married. So that way, similarly for Dr. Goher also, Baba said that he's not meant for marriage. She's not meant for marriage.
Once in Bangalore, again, there was a question of Goher's marriage. Baba told her, "Don't worry. You should not think about it. Don't ever marry. You have come to me after you have become a doctor." Goher knew that Baba would call her someday to live with him permanently. In 1938,
1 minute. I'm just showing you a picture from, I don't know whether it is clear. This is one picture of Nauroji Dadajanji's home, which was at Rustam Bagh. So we actually, at Baikala in Bombay. Okay, go ahead, Soumya.
In 1938, during one of the holidays, Goher went with Arnavas to Panchgani, where Baba and the women mandali were staying. Despite high fever and sore throat, she went to Panchgani. As soon as they entered the house, Baba inquired after her health. He was displeased and asked her to leave for Bombay immediately that same night and have her tonsils operated on.
Baba was very, very practical about health. If anybody did not feel, healthy, he always insisted that we take the best medical assistance which is in our vicinity and that is affordable to us. So he was an extremely practical master.
Ever since then, right till the end, Baba's sign for Goher was tonsils. Baba would put his hand on his throat to indicate tonsils. In December 1941, during Christmas break from the medical college, and she was also with Sir J.J. Hospital, Bombay, Goher with her fellow student arrived from Bombay and they were permitted to stay at Meherabad for a week when Mehra's birthday was celebrated.
Just a minute. This is another photograph. This is Baman Lodge entrance at Khodadat Circle, Dadar. These photos were taken in 2012 by Soumya. And this is the entrance to the Baman Lodge. So if you ever happen to be in the Bombay Center, please buy this book. It's priced very reasonably and it shows each and every, almost I would say, each and every event of Baba and Bombay, connected with Bombay. It's called Baba's Bombay Connection, a Chronicle. This is a Baba's Bombay Connection, a Chronicle. All right, go ahead.
In 1944, after her graduation, Goher returned to her parents' home in Ahmednagar. Baba was always traveling. On his return to Merazad, Goher sent word that she had completed her studies and was now a medical doctor and asked what she should do. Before long, Baba had Adi Senior drive her to Merazad. Baba was sitting cross-legged on the floor of the room, which later became Aloba's. Baba was happy about her becoming a medical doctor and asked her to tell her parents that Baba has asked her to come and stay with him permanently. Goher's mother fussed about her going and staying permanently with Baba, creating a row about it. She was concerned about not being able to meet Goher and suggested that Goher could visit Baba whenever she liked. Goher wrote to Baba about all that transpired, mentioning therein that she would come later, meaning after her mother died or calmed down. Baba was extremely displeased and responded that in that case she should not come at all. This made Goher sad and hurt, but she knew she had to leave home and wrote back to Baba stating that she was coming in spite of her mother's protest.
This is a
Baba,
very, sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Complete.
Baba was quite happy and said, I'll call you. So you must be ready whenever I call you. Baba replied by telegram, Your life is meant to live with me and serve me.
So there are very few exceptional cases where the parents are wanting to do something for the children and the children are going against the wishes of the parents in favor of what Baba wants, and Baba shows his pleasure about the decision taken by the children. By and large, Baba would ask that you should ask the permission of the parents and you should do what the parents want them to do. But very rarely, and in a very few cases, like in Goher's case, she went against the wishes of her mother, and Baba was happy about it and said that, okay, I'm happy about your decision, but I'll call you when I call you, you be ready to come. We'll take two question answers a little later. Yes, go ahead.
After a month of this incident, Baba was going to Raipur and asked Goher to meet him at Kaka Baria's home in Bombay. She joined Baba with Mehra, Mani and Meru to Raipur in the train from Bombay to Raipur. This was the first time Goher stayed with the women mandali as more than a casual visitor. Her primary duty was a go-between for any messages between the women and men mandali. Since neither Mani or Meru were permitted to speak with the men mandali, Moreover, whenever the train halted, Goher was to get down with the accompanying 3-month terrier dog Typhoon given by Sarosh and give the dog a walk.
In other words, she being a doctor, she was made to walk the dog, for tatti patti and all that. And similar things happened with Bauji also, that he was highly educated and he was given some very odd jobs, And the same thing was with Dr. Donkin. So Baba is, in a sense, crushing your ego that you may have come as a doctor, but you're supposed to do these things. Yeah.
Jal Kerawala had arranged a large house for Baba and the Mandali to stay. Goher's duty was to keep watch on the veranda and not allow anyone inside. She was preparing for a medical certification exams, so she studied during her watch and every now and then glanced towards the gate. She could not help thinking, now that I am a doctor, is this what I should be doing? Watching a gate? When Baba asked her if she would like to travel with them to Kashmir, Goher declined. She said that she would rather return to Bombay and get more experience in a hospital before joining Baba permanently. She had just graduated from medical college. She reasoned and had no practical experience. If I really am to become a doctor, she told Baba, I should complete my internship. Goher repented for missing the chance of being with Baba.
It is very important not to miss any chance with Baba. A similar thing happened with Saurabhji Siganporia when he had booked his tickets to go with the family to Kashmir, Srinagar and all that. And he missed it and he then later repented. Similar thing with Dr. Goher. Even though it may sound very logical, it may sound the correct thing to do in terms of worldview. But when Baba says a certain thing, then Baba's supremacy, Baba's topmost priority should be given to Baba's words rather than looking at the practicality aspect of it. There are many times when such things happen when Baba would just indicate certain things. One fine day Baba was, grinding wheat in a chakki, and somebody came, some Babaji, some Parsi fellow came and said that I have come to take your darshan. And Baba said, why don't you do the chakki along with me? And he said, no, I have come to take your darshan and not to grind the wheat. And then, of course, Baba just very annoyed, put out his leg and said, okay, bow down to me, and went away. And Baba said, just see, they have got no idea that if he had done what I had asked him to do, I would have given him what I wanted to give. Similarly, a kawal was called in, and Baba said, today I'm in a very good mood to listen to some nice kawali. And he said, Hazur, ab mera namaz ka time ho gaya. And so Baba said, हाँ, but it's correct. Then namaz ka time होगा, namaz पे जाइए. तो वो namaz पे चले गए. And then Baba said, see the takdir of this person. God is asking him to sing a kawali in front of God, and he says, मेरा namaz का time हो गया. So Baba never forces, he never imposes himself, but he expects us to be extremely sensitive to his wish. And he just gives a slight glance, and we are supposed to know about it.
Goher repented for missing the chance of being with Baba. She observed Baba would never insist. He would let one choose, let you live out what you had in mind. A couple of months later, Baba sent her back to Bombay for a length of time to get more medical experience as an intern in the hospitals. She worked in an all-woman hospital. On 31st December 1944, Baba and the women moved to Goher's father Rusi's house in Ahmednagar while minor repairs were done at Merazad. Goher had at first been hesitant to take the job as Baba had said that he would call her within a year. But against her wishes, the hospital appointed her to an important post. She decided later to return to Ahmednagar and set up her own practice, which she did in 1946. Living with her parents, Goher was working at the Salvation Army Booth Hospital. The waiting to join Baba dragged on for years. Baba was testing Goher. This painful period of remorseful waiting strengthened Goher's resolve and determination when Baba called her to Satara in 1947. She vowed to do everything she could to ensure that she stayed with Baba from then on. Finally, at Satara in June 1947, Goher joined Baba permanently. Baba asked her to stay in a bungalow, Jal Villa, with Norina and Elizabeth, who had returned to Satara from America, and to look after Norina, who was unwell with an enlarged heart and high blood pressure. At the same time, Baba told her to go and work in a missionary hospital as a volunteer without pay. He also sent her to a leper colony twice a week to give them treatment. She was allowed to visit Baba, Nehra, Mani, and others in their bungalow.
This was Baba's style, that he would give you a taste of his love, and then he would push you very far away, and he would make us, there will be a pining, pangs of separation, so to speak, and that is how he would create that love and the longing to be with Baba. This he did with several of the mandali, including even Dr. Donkin. When he wanted to join, Baba said, no, you finish your medical and then come over here. Same thing with Gover and same thing with others as well.
After the 3-month stay at Satara on 10th September 1947, Baba moved to Merazad. In those days, Baba used to leave Merazad in the evenings at 5:30 p.m. to rest in a small room at Gyara's cottage, which was in a field nearby, and return in the mornings between 5 and 5:30 a.m. He did not give her any medical job. He had a poultry farm made with different varieties of hens and Manila ducks, and told Goher, now you have to take care of these. She was frightened since she had never held a hen in her life and was afraid they would peck her. But she did it because Baba told her.
So now the doctor is made to look after hens and ducks and stuff like that.
She had to see to their feed, ensure their pen was kept clean and the eggs they would lay. Baba never let them eat that poultry. Baba would look into every detail in Merazad. When the chicken feed was finished, she had to go and tell Baba. On one occasion, she went over to the men mandali side to inform Baba about the requirement for chicken feed. Baba was sitting in Kaka's room on the bed and was talking to Murthy from Calcutta about the sixth and seventh planes. She entered the doorway and without thinking or listening to what Baba was telling, immediately said, Baba, the chicken feed is finished. Baba looked so surprised, seriously at first, and then started laughing, saying, here I was talking to this man about the sixth and seventh plane and was so engrossed in it, and suddenly you come and tell me about the chicken feed. Baba laughed so much. Baba would remind her about this incident for years afterwards.
One thing that comes across is that Baba was very meticulous about it. Means everything had to go through and via Baba. Even such a small poultry thing like buying chicken feed. Baba has to be informed. He would sanction it. And once it comes, he would be shown that this is it. He would take the accounts for it. He was very, very particular about every little thing. And here this was about chicken. Just as how I'm talking a little loosely, just like how the male Mandli would, crack jokes on Dr. C.D. Deshmukh, he was like, he would give entertainment to Baba. In the same way, on the women's side, they would, do such things with Dr.
Right.
Goher. I remember during 1956 accident, when Baba was asking Eraj to drive past, the women Mandli's quarters, the Rosewood, the Grafton. And what had happened was, Baba told, have you got any money? Eraj said, I have no money. I never carry money. Go tell Goher to get it. So she goes near their bungalow, honks. Goher comes and says, Baba wants a little money. Of course, they had prepared some tiffin and all that. And Goher goes inside and Baba nudges Eraj that you move the car forward. Now, Goher has not returned. Eraj is driving forward and Goher is running, wait. And Baba is saying, go ahead. And as soon as Gover will come near the car, again Baba would tell Eraj to go a little forward. And this was the joke that Baba and played with Goher.
Goher was a sort of messenger, a go-between for the men and women mandali. Amongst the initial duties at Merazad, Goher was to answer the bell which Kaka or one of the mandali rang at the gate. All day long, the bell would be ringing. Kaka would come to the gate with bags of vegetables that would need to be taken to or to convey any message from the men to Baba who would be on the women's side. If Baba was on the men's side and if a message had to be conveyed to Mehra, Goher would be called to convey the same or to get anything for Baba. Example, water from Mehra to Baba. All day long, Goher had to be on the messenger's job besides looking after the chicken.
This bell story is the bell had a very important part to play in Mehrazad. If you have seen if you have been to Mehrazad during Alobaji's time, he would ring a bell, say, time for tea, and everybody would rush for tea. So like that, once that bell was there, and the bell would ring, and obviously it was Dr. Goher's duty. She would run to find out nobody at the gate, and then she would obviously go away. Again, after some time, the bell would ring, and this happened quite a few times. And Goher said that somebody is playing a prank. Now let me just hide and see why the bell is ringing. Now what they had done was they had a small bell and a string tied to it. And what was happening, that the sparrows would be sitting on the string. And so the moment the sparrows would come and sit on the string, the bell would ring. And when Gover would come, sparrows would run away, fly away. And this happened, and then she realized that it was the sparrow. Once it so happened, again the bell story, that the bell kept on ringing and nobody attended to the bell because it was Goher's duty to attend to the bell. So the other women mandli over there just were like not bothered about it. It kept on ringing again, third time, again, fourth time. And they were wondering, why is it that Gover is not answering the bell? Finally, one of them went and saw that it was Gover herself who was ringing the bell because she was locked outside and the Sheba stable was there. So she went out and Sheba was not allowing Gover to again enter. So actually Gover was ringing the bell to indicate to the other mandli to help her come inside. So there were two other stories about the bell.
Goher recalls that at Merazad she was using a string bed, charpoy, like the servants use. Mehra, who was very considerate, noticed it and told Baba that a better bed be given, which was. One nearby hill before the approach road to Merazad was referred to as Goher's Hill. Baba would take the women for walks and climb the nearby hills with the women following him to the top. On one occasion, Baba climbed a particular hill very beautifully and easily, but there was loose gravel on it. The women were following him, but when they looked back, they saw Goher slipping down. The women helped her, some pulling, some pushing, and all of them laughing. Baba turned and asked what they were doing. Slowly, Goher came up. Ever since then, it is known as Goher's Hill.
Baba was very swift. He would climb hills and mountains like a goat. He was very swift at climbing. And this happened once in the West also, that
Italy.
in Italy, yeah, he took a very, I would say, a very difficult path, and he went up and the rest just couldn't follow. And then and there was one who actually got so trapped on the hill that if Baba had not helped the person coming down and again pulling the person up, the person could have even fallen down and may have been seriously injured. But that was in the West.
Mani and Mehra wanted to produce a humorous skit to amuse Baba and lessen the burden of the strain and tiredness when he came out of his seclusion. Goher was a very shy person. They wanted her to take part in the play. Goher kept telling, I can't do this, I can't do that, when Mani came up with dance steps to act. But when Mani dressed Goher as a man, adding a beard, she forgot herself and started playing her part very well. Goher acted in front of Baba for the first time in a Persian play as an old man with Mani playing an old woman. They danced to a Persian record about a couple from Iranian history, Nauroza and Firoza. The performance took place at Upper Mehrabad with the Westerners and all the women monthly in 1947. Mehra informed Goher that she was funny and Baba had quite a good laugh.
So this kind of sometimes impromptu and sometimes well planned, constant activities with the mandli was on. One is to keep them occupied, and the other is that they were ever so prepared to entertain Baba. Whenever Baba went out on a must tour or wherever, and he would return, he would be very haggard, he would be very tired and exhausted. And he would ask the mandli, that now you do something that would make my, the burden a little, lesser and more. I just give me some entertainment. So all the mandli at all the time would be prepared with something or the other to perform before Baba so as to relieve his tiredness and strain of the journey and strain of the work.
A new house was to be built at Merazad, and Baba suggested that Mehra and the women design it. In February 1948, when the new house was under construction, the Merazad men and women mandali shifted temporarily to Ahmednagar on 15th February 1948. Since the women would be moving back to Mehrabad soon, where there were plenty of snakes, Baba told Kitty and Ranu to learn how to give anti-venom injections. Goher taught them during their stay at Pop's house.
So how beautiful. Baba was so practical.
Stayed at the Pop's house.
Yeah. Baba was so practical. There were many snakes. So they had anti-snake venom, anti-venom
Venom.
injections, venom injections. And Goher would teach the Mandli how to uh, inject, how to give injection. In the same way, during the war time, Baba made them practice all kinds of war drill, all kinds of first aid, and everything that everybody needs to know during war time. Again, coming to this particular aspect, that Baba was a very practical master. No doubt he was God, but he didn't say, "Oh, I am God. Don't worry about it. I'll save you or I'll cure you." No, he wanted us to go through all that anybody would normally go through as a practical human being.
The housewarming ceremony for the new Merazad was performed on Friday, 27th August 1948, before invited guests. Baba and the women moved in on 16th September 1948. On 22nd December 1948, Mani had prepared a play for Baba and performed that same evening at Merazad Veranda. Benches were placed on the ground, and those from Mehrabad had come for this performance. The play was about a new mother and her baby. Although Goher was the shy, retiring sort, she agreed to become the baby in a bonnet and oversized diaper. Mani put her in the cradle and brought milk to give her in a bottle. Kitty was in the play too, and Mera remembered that Baba could not stop laughing. Goher herself was laughing. For Baba's 55th birthday, the Merazad women resolved to give him a special surprise. Goher was the sort of person who did not like to be in the forefront or do anything theatrical, just the opposite of Norina. Mani came up with an idea of persuading her to dance for Baba all by herself and confronted Goher, who refused. Mera recalls pushing Goher to perform for Baba. Goher came up with excuses stating being shy and also wondering how she could take the steps that Mani was most patiently teaching. Goher was ready to quit, but Mani did not give up and encouraged her, saying, Baba will enjoy it. He will be happy. After days and days of practice, Goher learnt the 1 minute routine. 12th February.
Mani was so persistent. All through we can see that Mani was the one never to take no for an answer. Even if it is a no, she would जैसे हम बोलते हैं नजरअंदाज, she would not hear it and say okay, but now you do this. Means even though there is a no, she would be persistent and she would see that anybody does whatever was given to be done. Why? With only one aim in life, to please Baba. So what she's telling Gover, because Gover was the shy one, because she wouldn't want to be in the forefront, because she doesn't want to dance, she doesn't know how to dance, and if she did all these things, then Baba would be maha happy. And that is why Mani wanted her only to perform for Baba as a surprise item in the early morning when Baba woke up on his birthday.
12th February 1949 was Baba's birthday according to the Persian calendar. The women rose early to bathe and be ready before Baba came downstairs. When they heard the night watchman leave his room, they positioned Goher in front of the staircase. She was wearing a costume from their Nasik days, a full gathered skirt with a decorative choli. Her face was made up like a dancing girl, bright red lipstick and plenty of rouge on her cheeks. As Baba descended the stairs, Mani, Meru and others held sticks, banged on the lids of pots and pans and sang happy birthday. Then Goher started to dance. Baba looked so surprised. Fine, he gestured to Goher as he watched her twirl about. After hardly a minute, Goher stopped and said, I know only that much, Baba. Do it again, Baba said, enjoying his novel birthday surprise.
So,
Afterwards, he warmly embraced her. And those days,
and
Baba's
Baba,
embrace was very rare to get.
Yeah. And Baba's another habit was to make people repeat everything. That's what he would do. One of the occasions he would repeat Francis Brabazon his poems, because Francis was a poet, keep repeating, till such time, we get fed up. And Baba says, you got no idea when you are reading it out. Actually, I am memorizing it so that when I come after 700 years, I should be able to remember these
Quote
poems.
him.
I should be able
Like
to
how he's
quote.
quoting
I
Hafiz
should be
now.
able to quote them like how I'm quoting Hafiz now. In the same way, the bazaar master, he would ask him to repeat the account. How many times, minor account at that time, 10 paisa, 5 paisa, like that. But he would make him repeat. And Baba would say that when I'm asking for your bazaring account, I am taking the account of the entire universe. So you have no idea of what I'm doing when whatever little that I'm doing at a micro level at the Mehrabad or Mehrazad or any other quarters, it gets, at a macro level, it gets reverberated.
Baba had started meetings about the new life, and they had to go from Merazad to Mehrabad every day. At the meeting of all the women held on the first floor of Meher Retreat, Upper Mehrabad, Baba announced that besides a number of men, he would take only 4 women with him in the new life. Although Goher was staying permanently in Merazad, she thought Baba would take only those who had lived with him from their early teens. Goher was sad and depressed and watering the garden at the far end when they returned to Merazad. Baba came out on the front veranda of the house with Mehra by his side. Baba clapped and asked her what she was thinking about. On repeatedly inquiring, Goher told Baba that she was feeling sad because Baba would be going away in the new life with no chance of the rest of them to see him. She did not know what to do with herself and had thought of ending her life since she could not live without him.
When Baba announced about the new life, it was made to look that anybody who comes there has to come there without any expectation, no material benefit, no spiritual benefit. One word that Baba used about the new life was Satyanashi. That means total ruination without anything. And we are never going to come back to Mehrabad, Mehrazad, Khushru quarters, wherever. So that was the seriousness with which Baba asked people whether they want to join. And he said that only 4 women would be taken. And Gover was very apprehensive that she would not be taken. And therefore, she was even contemplating to end her life. We can imagine what sort of love, what sort of longing, what sort of closeness is developed between God and his disciples and his lovers, that they cannot live without his presence.
She also knew Baba would not take her along since she had just recently come to live with him. Baba told Mehra, she is a fool. Tell her that she will go with me. Baba later announced the 4 women who would accompany him in the new life and gave them a list to make preparations for the new life. Since Goher came to stay permanently with Baba in 1947, she has only seen Baba's physical suffering. Baba seemed to take more bindings on himself, visible and invisible. He would not complain much and make light of his suffering to those around him, making them forget that he had any pain. One main problem was heartburn caused as a result of the many long and severe fasts and irregular diets due to Baba's travels and musk work. It was feared that Baba suffered from peptic ulcer, but he would refuse any investigation or checkup. Baba's digestion was seriously affected, and between doctors Dawn, Neelu, and Goher, they treated him accordingly. With the damage done, treatment could only be palliative and not a cure. Baba would take the prescribed medicines.
The main regret of most of the Mandli staying with Baba was that they were utterly helpless to help Baba relieve his pain. He would take upon himself so much of strain, so much of pain, and not complain at all. And Mandli would see that Baba is suffering. And even though when the doctors would come and inject one after the other injections or whatever, Baba would just smile and say that no amount of medication would do any good to him unless the pain, which is a response to his work, is over. That means unless the work is finished and accomplished, the pain will continue to be his partner or his companion. So that is where all the Manlis felt that we felt so sad that we just cannot help him to relieve his pain.
Whilst working with mass, poor, universal work, or during seclusion, Baba did not spare his body. My work comes first, he would say.
I remember once when somebody asked Dr. Goher only, कि ये आपका बाबा कैसा है? What sort of Baba he is, He has given so much of suffering to all the Mandli. You see to the life of all the Mandli, they suffered so much. And Goher with a smile said, हमारी बात तो छोड़ो, बाबा ने अपने आप को किधर स्पेयर किया है? I mean, forget about us. Baba has not even spared himself of the pain and suffering. So what do you talk about the Mandli? So in other words, Baba and suffering was like it coexisted.
During the 1952 visit to America, Baba began the journey from the east coast to the west coast. Gohar recalls feeling very sad and crying to herself because Baba did not take her in his car, which had plenty of room. On the morning of 24th May 1952, Gohar was feeling very depressed and wrote in her notes why Baba did not take her in his car. When the accident took place, she realized the reason. She could communicate with Dr. Burleson, who was handling the accident victims, namely Baba, Mera, and Elizabeth, who were taken to the hospital in Prague, Oklahoma, requesting for an orthopedic surgeon for Baba and a neurosurgeon for Mehra.
Baba's planning was so meticulous. On that fateful day, 24th May 1952, when the accident, so-called accident took place, Baba asked Elizabeth Patterson whether, have you taken the insurance papers? And she said no. So Baba said, okay, let us first go and get the insurance paper. Dr. Goher wanted to sit in Baba's car because Elizabeth's car was very roomy and she could have been easily accommodated. But Baba said, no, you come in the other car with Sarosh and others, So how well Baba had planned, that means it is not an accident, it's a very, very well planned, what should I say, orchestrated event in order to take upon himself the suffering of humanity. Because Baba did say that America is after my blood and I will have to spill my blood on the American soil.
Baba met with a self-orchestrated second car accident at Uttara near Satara on 23rd December 1956.
This is 2nd December.
Baba.
2nd December, there's a misprint. It is 2nd December 1956. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Baba was brought to Grafton Bungalow, where Baba lived with the women Mandali. Initially, Goher and the other women Mandali did not realize the extent of injuries sustained by Baba. Nevertheless, a doctor was consulted. She cleaned
his wound and cuts on Baba's right eye.
Goher cleaned Baba's wounds and cuts on Baba's right eye over the eyelid and gave him an injection. An X-ray was needed to be taken. Goher and Don accompanied Baba in the ambulance to the civil hospital. The conditions in the hospital were terrible. Several X-rays were taken to know how far the bone has broken. Thereafter, Baba was wheeled to the operation theatre where a cast was put on. Baba's tongue was cut at 2 or 3 places and had to be sutured, wounds stitched. Baba's tongue was cut in 1952 and 1956 accidents. Goher was by Baba's side, holding his hand, feeling his pulse. Injections were given to Baba. Baba gripped Goher's hand tightly and gestured. If I utter a sound, just shake me. See that I don't utter a sound.
See, even in such pain, such stringent situation, Baba had maintained his silence. Gohar in one of his videos says, in one of her videos says, that that in spite of Baba telling me that warn me or caution me, actually Baba never uttered a oof, like with all the pain that he bore.
Since the hospital was untidy and the worst kind of treatment meted out.
Now we are all talking about the government hospitals here being untidy and proper treatment not being given. Just imagine half a century back, more than half a century back, same situation was there and God had to face it. So why do we need to complain about it? God faced it.
They took Baba home in the ambulance which ran over very bad roads. With each bump, Baba winced in pain. Goher gave Baba a sedative injection to relieve his pain and let him take rest. After a week in Satara, Baba was shifted to Pune on Monday, 10th December 1956 and spent the night in a private clinic. Goher would stay with Baba and give Mehra an update on him. In 1959, Kishan Chand Gajwani, a lover from Bombay, gifted Baba with a high back upholstered chair which was placed in Mandali Hall. A cushion for Baba's feet was then made to order by Goher from cotton purchased from the bazaar. During the 1960s, whenever Baba was in a mood to listen to radio, Goher was the one to put on the required radio station, either BBC, Radio Ceylon, or a ghazal from Radio Pakistan. And after that, Baba would go to meet the men in the Mandali Hall. In the 70s and 80s, at Mehrazad, on Saturdays and Sundays, Goher would be on the veranda with the other women Mandali to greet pilgrims for personal chats. She would give free medical advice to pilgrims when needed. Like the other women Mandali, she was not a teller of stories and anecdotes. On weekdays, she would be busy in the Mehed Free Dispensary along with other duties to see in the house. She had charge of all the household linen and furnishings such as sheets and towels, curtains and covers, and attending to alterations and mending needed for the current items in use and also get new ones made. On weekends, she rarely came to the Mandali Hall. At Alava's afternoon tea time, she sometimes came to sit on the veranda and on Sunday mornings joined the other women Mandali for the entertainment and film programs in Mandali Hall. Goher often had to go back and forth between the main house and dispensary during the day. To save energy and time, she began years ago to use a bicycle with a basket attached to the handlebars to carry whatever was needed for either place.
This is my first recollection of Gower, that she would not be seen walking. She would be seen cycling on a small, very low height bicycle, and there would be a basket in front, and she would be carrying things from one side to the other on that bicycle, which later was motorized. Yeah.
With the health problems and osteoarthritis escalating, the familiar bike was replaced with a small motorized chair donated by some pilgrims. In 1995, she spent 3 months in America at Atlanta, Georgia, undergoing operations for shoulder replacements. Goher is remembered for her gentleness and the softness of her hands and heart, the love and generosity with which she greeted pilgrims and patients. Yet, on those rare occasions when the need arose to admonish an offender to uphold Baba's image, without any hesitation and fierceness that was dormant in her came to the fore. Goher had become quite enamored of the song Amazing Grace during the last few months of her life, and she had requested Ted to sing when they met a few weeks before she passed away. Goher passed over to Baba on 30th June 2004 of congestive heart failure and cremated on 1st July 2004. She was 87 years of age. After Goher's urn was interred in the crypt designated by Baba, Ted sang the song Amazing Grace in her honor. Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba. She completed 6:01, so she took 1 minute more. I had planned it to complete. Now we are keeping it open for people because today is Tuesday. We need not be hurriedly closing it for a simple reason. There's no God speaks today happening. So if people want to share, but please be short so that many people could get a chance. My personal, I don't want to say because I've met her very many times. She comes across as a very gentle, very loving, very kind-hearted, very helpful person. And after many years, when I visited her the last time, she was looking out, very Cyrus, very Cyrus. And I went to her and said, Jai Baba, Gover auntie. And she would say that, she said, I heard that you have become a healer. I said, no, who told you that? Nothing of that sort. એવું કઈ કરતો બરતો ના, don't go into any, nahi karke. So that was the last meeting I had. I don't remember the year, obviously before 2004. So whatever it is, if people want to share their sweet, tiny anecdotes, we can prolong this meeting for a little while. So now the divine postman will thank you, Soumya, for this beautiful rendition. And if anybody has any questions, you can ask. Or better still, if anybody wants to share something, but as I said, make it something which is sweet, something which is cute, something from which people would learn from. Okay, over to the divine postmaster.
मैं दारू वाला या मैं दारू वाला
To cue them, yes. Go ahead, Jai Baba.
मैं चंद नूरी after that.
Go ahead, Jai Baba.
Oh,
Cyrus uncle, in Dadar, Meher Baba would stay there. Where would he stay and whose house? In
At
Dadar.
Dadar, there are many places. There is a Bharucha building. There is Irani Mansion. There is Baman Lodge. No, I'll tell you, Baman Lodge. These were the three. And there was another lodge also. I forgot the name where we went, Freni's place. I forgot that name. So Baba would visit any of these places. But so far as Goher is concerned, she stayed with the Dada Chanjis, which was at Baikala and at Baman Lodge. It has nothing to do with Irani Mansion and Bharucha building. Okay. Was that your question? Hello? What
Wait.
happened?
She needs to unmute. I'm muted her mic.
Okay, never mind.
Unmute your mic. मैं दारू वाला. Yeah. Your phone is making too much noise.
All right, never mind. Next. Who is next?
I can ask.
Kitty Miss.
Oh, see, I just want to ask that Baman Lodge belongs to my sister. Baman Lodge belongs to my sister.
Oh, great.
And we didn't even know that Baba was going there. So whose
So
house
now
was
you know.
going? Huh?
Now you know. I said.
Yeah, whose house was Baba going to? Shirin Mai Athiram?
No. This was at Dada Chanji's house. Dada Chanji shifted to Baman House. Baman Lodge. And that is where Baba used to visit. Dada Chanji, Naurozji, Bachamai and Naurozji, Dada Chanji's home at Baman Lodge.
Achha.
Which is at Khodadat Circle.
Yes, my sister's house. It is my sister
Right.
owns this place.
Great.
That is why we
So nice. Thank you for the information. Thank you, Kit. Yeah, next.
Merchant Nuri.
Your mic now,
Merchant
Kitty.
Nuri.
Jai Mer Baba Cyrus
Jai Baba Merchant.
and Jai Baba to everyone.
Jai Baba.
Hey Baba.
Goer auntie is the instrumentality in saving Mehrazad property from the chemical factory.
Yes.
In fact, when the chemical factory was there, one time I was there, they want to file a suit. So I advised her not to file a suit in the name of the trust. As you are being a doctor, better you file a public interest litigation in Bombay High Court of Aurangabad branch. Because there was a lot of cases, this N.M. Mehta's case was there, by which any chemical factory around the agriculture fish should be removed. But
Yes.
unfortunately, we lost it in Aurangabad. And you know, the man behind the total who was the Rustum Falati, who
Ustam
took care of
Falati,
lot of,
yes.
yeah. And he went to that, and ultimately in Supreme Court, we
Yes.
succeeded, and that's why chemical factory has it. That I
Very
want to share.
tenaciously. Yeah.
Yeah, that I want to share because
Yeah.
that is not written in any books. And
Very,
second thing to my personal thing is, and she and Mani auntie, Katie auntie, and Meramai, they insisted me to come and join in the Mehrazad family member.
very good.
But unfortunately, there's a condition I should not get married because
Oh,
of my father, because all my three brothers were in States, my sister was in Australia. So I have to take care of parents. They said, till your parents are there, you have to look after them and then come back to Mehrazad.
okay.
So unfortunately, I was forced. I lost chance. Then Mani auntie said me, better luck in next birth. But I said, not next birth, next avtaric period. That's what
Jai
I said.
Baba. Jai
And
Baba.
third
Jai
thing
Baba.
is, when I was issueless, then Gaur auntie took lot of interest on my personal care on me and my Revati and prescribed medicine. And she said, you should have a child. You should have a child. And you are going to have a definitely one nice boy. That's what I still remember.
Nagarjun.
So
Nagarjun.
Nagaraj was it. So that's why I remember this. And from here and 610, I have got to address my Hyderabad gathering about Goharanti. Avtar Meher
Thank
Baba ki
you.
jai.
Thank you.
And I take leave with your permission.
Jai
Avtar
Baba.
Jai
Meher Baba
Baba.
ki
Thank you for sharing, Mershan. Thank you. Who's next now?
Mayor Jyoti, and then
Mayor Jyoti.
Yeah, Jai Baba.
Jai
It's a
Baba.
very, very wonderful and very nice session. And Soumya collected a very nice, everything is there.
Thank you.
And it's a very memorizing all these things and experiences with the Gohira auntie and everything. I am fortunate that when I selected my PhD topic of the women physician in the Bombay presidency, I took this the first interview of Dr. Goher as a woman physician, whether
Oh,
I have corrected or not, and like that. And that's the in 2003 I took this the interview, and I took the permission. I was very much frightened that time because though she's a kind, loving, but she is a very, very disciplined person, and I am very much frightened, and I took the permission from the Rangoli uncle, and Rangoli uncle took the permission from the Mehrazad. Mehru was there, and another ladies were sitting there, and I took her interview. She was very much in pain, and she has given this interview. And later, so many years back, Mehru recalled me that you are the only one person who took this Dr. Goher's interview, that I don't know about the things are there. But another thing is that she was very known to my parents and my full family. I was suffering of the heel cracks during the childhood, and so many medicines has been done, and so many things are there, but somehow I did not heal it that. And one of this the every summer we visited the Mehrabad and Mehraza. That is our very much treat that my father gave us, that every summer we visited Mehrabad and as well as the Mehrazad. So during that once visit, my dad told that Meher Jyoti has suffering of this one, and she gave her ointment of that one. So from that, I don't remember that my year, which year I took this the medicine from that one. Till today, I did not get any heel crack.
Wow.
So
Great.
many years went, but I did not get a heel crack, and I used that medicine so many months. That is another thing. Another thing,
Great.
I was staying at the hostel at Amannagar College, and we have this. I have this liver disturbances and typhoid or something is there. So before going to the doctor, I visited on Thursday to the trust office to meet the this one Mani auntie. And Mani auntie simultaneously that time Goher auntie was also there, and my Mani auntie told me that, why didn't you consult Goher? And I went to the Goher, and Goher told me that do the X-ray, this one, that one. And then she again recalled me and told me, don't go to the X-ray without my letter. And she gave the letter and she told that X-ray technician that don't take any payment from HOT. And I told, no, I can give. And then she told me, just like that. And she told, no. And I went and take the X-ray and all these things. And then she give me Dr. Karandikar's this one. So the lot of these, the events are there and lot of this experiences. And I took the series of interviews, not the one day of that, but the series of the interviews. I took this, what are the precautions as like, and all these things. I took the series of the interview and I used in my thesis. Some of her experiences I used in my thesis. You can go on the online of the Shodhganga. My thesis is uploaded there, and there are the Dr. Govis and that one. And my intention was that I should use Baba's name in my thesis somewhere. That was my intentions. And somehow, and when I was very much fascinated, Dr. Gohir, very much fascinated as a doctor, as that one. And during that interview, because I did my BSc and there's the pathology of that one. I work in the hospitals. That Dr. Gohir knew that because the Mandali took the decision I should take the pathology, not the radiology. So Gohir, then after that, I shifted from pathology to this the history and historian and professor. So while doing this, the interview, finished the interview, Dr. Gohir asked me, which you like the most profession, medical profession or the teaching profession? So I told her that I like the medical profession. And she asked me, why you like the medical profession? I told her, because it's social service is more than the teaching. So she told me that, okay, now I will pay for your medical course and you do it as a medical course. And I told her, now it's not so much easy. When Baba paid for your medical course, it's not so much easy nowadays. It's very difficult and it's very costly. And I'm not now in that stage to doing the medical course again and all that. But she insisted me do some paramedical course and do the work for your what is the liking at that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor
Jai
Jyoti.
Baba.
Thank you, Mayor Jyoti. So if there are no other sharing, shall we call it a day? Sam wants to say, please come in, Sammy.
I knew Dr. Goher quite well, and for most of us, it is common knowledge that she was not only an allopathic doctor, but she knew a lot of other alternate medicines, homeopathy, Ayurveda, you name it, and she knew. And she was so very adept at treating the villagers and others. And Dr. Ann used to say that there is so much to learn from that lady. There was so much to learn from Dr. Goher. Of course, I used to tease her when she was on that motorized wheelchair. I used to say, show me your driving license and this and that. And she and I would, just laugh and, Sam, when will you ever get serious? Once it happened that she noticed I had a few warts around my neck. And my God, what a ruckus she created. She called this doctor, that doctor, and everybody, she told them, give him something for this warts, give him something for this. It should be, when are you leaving, Sam? This, that, where are you staying? I said, I'm staying at Dharamshala. Till 8 o'clock in the evening, every 10, 15 minutes, somebody would run up and say, Sam, this is from Dr. Goher. She sent this Ayurvedic thing, do this, do that, da, 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 da. Then somebody would bring some homeopathic. And I really felt that she was ever so caring, if I may say, even more than my own mother. And that is the experience I have of Dr. Goher. Thank you and Jai.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you once again very much. We remember her with love, with affection, with honor, with gratitude. And obviously she is now enjoying her stay with Baba. Thank you all once again. Avatar Meher Baba
Baba
ki jai.
ki jai.
Jai Baba.
Avatar
Jai Baba.
Meher Baba.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.